And Melkor knew of all that was done, for even then he had secret friends and spies among the Maiar, whom he had converted to his cause, and far off in the darkness he was filled with hatred, being jealous of the work of his peers, whom he desired to make subject to himself. Therefore he gathered to himself spirits out of the halls of Ea that he had perverted to his service, and he deemed himself strong. And seeing now his time, he drew near again to Arda and looked down upon it, and the beauty of earth in its spring filled him the more with hate. En un lugar de la Mancha, de cuyo nombre no quiero acordarme, no ha mucho tiempo que vivía un hidalgo de los de lanza en astillero, adarga antigua, rocín flaco y galgo corredor. That's how El Quijote de la Mancha starts. One of my favorite books. Out of late, one company on Spain decided, with the help of a government, I don't remember it was Catalonia or not, they decided that they will do a new version of Don Quixote, taking apart the pieces of old language and erasing any mention of slavery or any kind of sexism. This book was written, or finished rather, on 1605, 400 years later. It's being rewritten to comply to modern sensibilities. It was already in some printing. It's not selling well. It will never. There's no way something like that can sell. Talking about something that is being deformed, The Silmarillion, one of my favorite books ever. This guy was torn apart when I got him. I had to fix in places page by page every piece. Then afterwards, a lot of years later, it was with me in a hospital when I needed something to comfort me, and there's still a 4-leaf clover there because I have tried like 20 here, just here. Botanist. It's easy to find 4-leaf clovers if you know what you're searching for. Anyway, the OneRing.net has been going against YouTubers that say that the lore should be respected. Why? Because they really hate the notion that something is not good in what Amazon is doing, because if they are doing the Lord of the Rings, they are doing the Lord of the Rings, right? Maybe not. The paragraph that I read at the beginning of this video, the one from Melkor, talks about this being. Okay, Ilúvatar creates the Ainur, and he brings them to a song of creation, and they see everything that will happen, and then they go to Arda, this new world, and they try to create what they have seen. But there was this one that was not paying attention to the song. He was trying to destroy it, to make it different. His name was Melkor, and when he came to Arda, he could not create. He was filled with rage and hatred. So instead, he took pieces of what was created and made them his own. Like the elves, he will take them and torture them and make them dark and evil to a point they became orcs. He made that with forests, and with his trickery he created from beauty hideous things like Goliath. He took something existent And because he wanted to make it his own, he destroyed it and then presented something horrible, horrid, monstrous. That is Amazon. That is what Amazon is doing. They are taking something that is beautiful and tearing it apart to make it their own. And because the OneRing.net don't take kindly to what's going on, they have decided to attack Nerdrotic and attack just some guy. And they are saying it's because of people like us that don't want something bad to happen to something beautiful. They are saying that we were the ones that were against Ian McKellen being Gandalf. Let me tell you this. I'm in Ecuador. I'm in this small country in Latin America. My country is quite religious. Okay? This small country. Nearing Colombia and Peru. In Latin America. Is where I am now. We are a Catholic country. Christmas is a national holiday. Easter is a national holiday. The best thing you can do when you come to Quito, Ecuador, where I am, is to go to the churches. Beautiful, beautiful creations. In this country that at that point had still a lot to do for LGBT rights. You know how many people complained? Zero. It was the Fellowship of the Rings was the most viewed movie ever. Then came The Two Towers, and then The Return of the King. They were the most popular movies here ever. We never even thought about Ian McKellen. We thought about Gandalf. When he is in the role, he disappears as Gandalf. Then my country was tricked into socialism. And with socialism came wokeness. And now, textbooks that used to tell you that M was before B and P tell you that you can write anything however you want because you are you. So, orthography, the good writing of anything, is no longer a rule. So, our kids don't know how to write or read. They are illiterate by force. They go to school, they come even dumber. A lot of rights that were supposed to be given to the LGBT were barred to other communities because they are inferior. That's the viewpoint of a socialist. That's the degeneracy of a socialist, of a woke person. One man that was really important, Simon Bolivar, that he was a libertarian and he spoke about libertarianism and he was proud of that. He is now deemed as a socialist icon, even though socialism was born hundreds of years after he died. Why? Because the government decided that they needed a socialist icon, and the only person that they thought about was Simon Bolivar, so they took a legend of freedom in Latin America as a whole, because he freed Colombia, he freed Venezuela, he freed Peru, he freed the Gran Colombia that was basically like the United States in Latin America for a time. I mean, a bunch of states working together, so he created that structure and was amazing what he did. And now he's a socialist. And they call him the old Lenin and stupid shit like that, because they don't care about history. So they rewrite history to whatever they see fit. Like Melkor, taking apart something that was already, stripping it of the beauty and creating something darkened, evil for himself. He's not a fans, he's not erotic, he's not just some guy, he's not Hill versus Babyface, it's not this guy's fault that Amazon is not doing a good work. It's not those guys' fault that the OneRing.net is stripping logic to fit a narrative, like Melkor will take apart an elf to create an orc. And they are taking whatever we say and taking it apart exactly the same, because wokeness is not about the message. Normally you have the emissor, the message, and the receptor. That is a normal communication chain. Okay? They don't care about the message. They don't care about the emissor. They only care about themselves. So they take whatever they receive and interpret it as whatever they want, without any value to the reality of what was said. They only want to destroy, to make excuses, to conquer and divide. Tolkien warned us about this on the Silmarillion, about the way Melkor will create Ungoliath, will create the Balrogs from Myers, how he will create darkness from light. And we are seeing that being done to Tolkien's work. And the one cheering them is the OneRing.net, that is supposed to be about fans, right? And they are telling the fans of the Lord of the Rings, get out. We want to destroy this in peace. Maybe you are not a fan site, I'm just saying. And this is an Ecuadorian that loves the Lord of the Rings, telling you, fuck off.